All right, woke up and starting a third day. Again, Miss Darcy's up at 5:30 or 5 o'clock. I got up early. I got up at like 6:30 and still, oh my gosh, it's such a rush because she's usually just ready to go. And then I packed up differently, so let's hope that my pack isn't too lopsided. See, my hat got squished. But I stink. Yeah, I can imagine being on a trail for a week because monkey butt. Anyway, we only have a couple miles supposedly to do today. And there's a waterfall, so I'm looking forward to it. Also wanted to mention it was freezing cold last night. I'm still sniffling. So I'm glad I brought my puffy and some long sleeve shirts. And it's still cold this morning. I could have probably used a pair of light gloves. That also made it kind of hard to pack up because my hands are half numb. I can only imagine it's going to get, colder and colder. So I have one more backpacking trip for October planned and the camping trip in November, mid-November, and then that'll be it for probably any overnight stuff until spring. So I'm going to try to enjoy this last day on the trail, and we just started. She's already like a mile ahead of me, and I'm just out of breath, and I need to just slow down, take it easy, because it's my last day here. I want to enjoy what I can and take some more really nice nature shots if I can. And when we get to the waterfalls, there'll be some really good pictures, I hope. Look at this. This is the morning view of the same creek that we're walking along.
Nice rock to sit on.
Yeah.
Nice view.
It's a pretty area, and right beside us are some campers, and there's a couple of tent sites here. There's 1, 2, 3 that I can see, and some beautiful little Christmas trees, for lack of a better word. So I'm going to get some of this gorgeous beauty before we leave the forest. I think this whole trail, other than a few very short sections, is rocks, man. And again, I don't remember anybody talking about that in any of the videos I saw. But you have a few short sections where you have a little bit of dirt like this. On the other side, in the beginning, we had one with pine needles, and that was nice. But man, there's a lot of rocks on this trail too, so. Oh, that sounds pretty. And, but look at this beautiful forest in the morning. So nice. As far as the eye can see, Rocks, rocks, rocks. Look at this. So pretty. We found your campsite, Cliff. If you're watching. It's a nice little campsite.
Yeah,
right by the creek.
All the people like literally walking.
Yeah, and we did have a lot of people. This is a weekend. I think he went during the week, so. And just like that, we're at the falls. You can hear them way before you see them. But there they are. I thought we'd never make it here. Very pretty. Oh, they're nice. Look at that. If it was a hot summer day, man, I'd definitely get in there. Look at that big pool. That'd be nice to swim in, for sure. It's on the other side. The rock formations are pretty cool, pretty unique. There's a tree growing up out of it. Rhododendrons growing out of it, ferns, and another kind of tree. All these rocks and trees growing out of it. It looks like a sort of cave over there. Maybe it doesn't get back very far, but it feels very cool. Okay, I just had to show you this section of the woods because it's so beautiful. There's some campers over there, and a couple people just passed me. Darcy went way ahead of me because I told her to go. Well, she didn't have to, but I had to take off my thermal shirt, and I had 2 pairs of pants on still from this morning when it was so cold. But look at this. These trees. Just surrounded by these beautiful, beautiful trees. So nice. Had a stream crossing, and I just wanted to get across it, so I didn't record it. Plus there was little boards across it. It wasn't like I had to step in water, so nothing exciting, but here we are in this beautiful, beautiful forest. To me, it's just still so amazing. Coming up to another campsite, there was a ton of them in the woods back there. And I had to cross that stream twice, so I'm not sure if I could have just kept going, but it was a little confusing. Here's a nice campsite though. There's a creek over there, so it's not too far from water. It looks like that is the yellow blazes, and this looks like the orange blazes, but I don't see any orange blazes there. Okay, I gotta check my map. think we're getting up into some of the marshy, boggy parts. I just had to cross all that. And I see some more mush up here. Yucky. I gotta get through this somehow without sinking. I have to go around on the sides here. Oh, which is so hard because I have that massive blister on the side of my shoe. It wasn't so bad. And here comes somebody, so I'm putting the camera down. Oh my gosh, guys. The last leg of this has not been fun. This is the flattest spot that it just came out to. The rest has been all uphill and stones, and more uphill and more stones. But I'm supposed to go this way, it looks like. And I did try to text Darcy to hopefully wait for me at the end of the trail, but I haven't heard back. I just hope she does and doesn't just take off, because I have a sleeping pad I wanted to give her since hers was deflating so much, and I have a really good pad that I don't use because it's a mummy shape and I don't like it. But fingers crossed, I should only have about 2 miles left. I'll do my outro when I get home. I'm just not in a very good mood at the moment. I'm hot, I'm tired. I went 8 miles without stopping to pee or eat anything, and I gotta drive 2 hours home. So I'll see you when I get there. Okay guys, it's been a couple of days. I'm home now, and I didn't want to make the outro video, close out the video for a few days because I had suffered some injuries on the trail, and I just, you know, I one of them is a sty. It's still there. I got it in my eye, and my whole eye socket just swelled up. It looked pretty gnarly. And I had a big blister on my foot, and I had some miscellaneous bruises from things like bra straps being pressed, and my fanny pack buckle was, you know, pressing against my back. So these are normal things sort of that happen on the trail. But like I said, I just didn't want to make a video until I felt a little bit better. So let's talk about the trail first. It's a beautiful trail in the fall. I haven't tried it at any other time of the year, not even just for day hiking. The colors were fantastic. We are in a drought right now in Pennsylvania, so there was the problem of lack of water sources. Towards the end, we had a lot more, but in the beginning we didn't. So that was one thing. There was a lot more rocks than I was led to believe. I don't know why, but I watched a lot of videos about that trail before I went out, and I didn't really see too much about all the stones and rocks on the trail, and some of the, you know, what I call boulder fields. You know, they're big rocks. So anyway, you got to see that. I'm not making it up. It's actually there. And, you know, the good things about this trail was, there was no bugs. We really didn't have a bug problem at all. No mosquitoes or nothing, probably the time of year. And so despite being in closed quarters, sometimes with the brush and everything, didn't have any problems with that. The temperatures, the weather, it was absolutely beautiful. We didn't have any rain. We had great temperatures. It got a little cold at night, but that's to be expected this time of year. And, you know, for the most part, it's very, not a lot of elevation. So when I said at the end that there was a lot of uphills, I'm talking like low grade uphills that can just be kind of slogging it out depending on, you know, if you like uphills, that's great. But I do not like uphills. But for the most part, that trail is super low and easy to traverse in that way. So that's the trail. The other stuff, I just want to make sure everybody understands that it wasn't Darcy just running ahead of me or, you know, not waiting up for me or anything like that. It's just that we both have a different pace. She is naturally just goes faster than me. She's younger than me by a lot. And, you know, I have other issues as an older person. I don't want to get into too much detail, but, you know, I have bunions, you know, and I have, you know, aches and pains from being a nurse for, you know, 25 years. So some of that stuff slows me down. I was a former smoker as well. So, you know, these things do affect you as you get older. So, you know, I only hike at a pace of about 1.7 to 1.8 miles per hour when I have a heavy backpack on. When I am hiking on trails that, like day hiking and I don't have a heavy pack, my average pace is around 2 to 2.5 miles per hour. So, you know, that did affect it as well. Darcy waited up for me a lot on this trail, and I know it was kind of frustrating for her. It was frustrating for me trying to catch up all the time, you know, and push myself. And I know it was a little frustrating for her to have to wait for me all the time. But these are just normal things that happen on the trail. It doesn't really matter, you know, where you are in your journey. You know, you and whoever you decide to hike with are naturally going to have different styles and different pace and different obstacles and challenges as well as preferences. She is a morning person. She's up and chipper like a chipmunk in the morning. She's ready to go. I like to sleep in a little bit, and, you know, I'm a night shifter, so my biological clock has shifted over the last couple decades. And so, you know, you just work around that, and her and I have talked about some different solutions going forward for that. But we get along great, you know, and we enjoy each other's company. We like hanging out. You know, it's not like we were upset with each other. We were just, I think, both a little frustrated at times. And, you know, that's just how it goes. I've heard tell that happens with other hikers that are really good friends, but, you know, something on trail they're frustrated by. You know, it could be a pace, it could be someone stopping too much to film or take pictures, or someone that needs to rest more often. These, I think, are just normal things that just happen while you're backpacking. It's not going to matter how long you're doing it. It's going to happen, and there's no big deal. So anyway, I had a great time. It was a great experience for me, and I am so glad I went. This is only my third backpacking trip ever, and the first two were just overnights. The one was by myself, but it was just a very short hike out to the spot. That video is out there. And the difference with this trail too, I think, was that, you know, we had such bad weather on the Loyal Sock on the second day. It was just totally unexpected. It was storming, it was pouring down rain. We had the whole mountain was flooded. So, you know, that's a little different than when you have beautiful weather and, you know, no rain and things like that. Also, campsites. This one had lots of campsites. We just, you know, we found the first one was kind of we had to camp there, you know, we were exhausted and it had been a long day and we needed water. The second campsite was really, really, really nice. My tent is bigger than most people's. I have a Durston X Mid 2, and it needs to be staked in the ground. It's not a freestanding tent. So sometimes that creates an obstacle or a challenge in that way. I don't really know what else to say. I had a great time and I hope to do it again soon. And I really hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I hope to see you again next time. Namaste.